This is a custom built motorcycle that once upon a time used to be a Ducati Supersport. Now what's interesting about this bike is it's handmade in Mr. Harold Mayer's garage. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, yourself.
You're going to have to run us through a little bit about the history of this bike, how long it took, and what somebody's in for if they take on a project like this.
You're not going to show this to my wife, eh?
I'm going to show it to your wife, but I know they don't cost a lot. 20 grand will do the job. That's
everything on this bike costs 300 rand.
Yeah, that's everything. It. 100%. Yeah.
No, Glenn, it was, yes, labour of love. It wasn't a pressure build. It was just to keep myself busy in the garage and see if I could get to build a bike. It's my first build.
So you specifically wanted to build a Ducati?
I wanted to build a Ducati,
right,
because of the track days that Doxa organised.
Right.
So it started out life to be a street legal cafe, a street legal track bike, and it just turned pear-shaped from there. The more I read, the more I researched online, the more goodies I saw, the more I wanted to make it a one-of-a-kind and something special.
Well, I certainly think you've achieved that. Guys, I need to tell you that there is nothing at all standard about this motorcycle.
Okay, so first and foremost, the wheels, I couldn't afford BST carbon wheels, so I went to the next best thing, and that's hydro dipping.
Yeah.
And EBC discs.
Yeah.
So I replaced the old discs, EBC discs. I also decided to splash out on new Brembo calipers.
Yep.
Last thing I wanted to do was be going down the main straight and not have brakes at the end. So we thought braided steel hoses. The suspension is still standard.
Yep.
Forks are standard, but been rebuilt. All right. Everything, all the lighting is LED lighting. So we've gone for the little bullet indicators. The 7-inch. It's called a Daymaker LED headlight.
Yep.
And switches, all the electronics is Moto Gadget.
I just want to show you the switches, guys. So here's your left indicator, your hooter. There's your right indicator and your starter button. Super, super cool. Look at the Brembo reservoirs that have been put on here. Talk us through the clock quickly, sir. Moto Gadget as well.
Okay, Moto Gadget stuff, absolute state of the art. I mean, I have more functionality on this bike than what I do on a 1260 multi-strada Ducati. So it's unbelievable what the Moto Gadget stuff, the flexibility and what you're able to do with.
Rounding up the front, obviously your Rizoma mirrors. They do make good stuff. Hello, sir. I can see you in the rearview mirror there. And then I want to just show you guys the tank. You'll know that the Supersport tank has actually got a recess in there. This has been smoothed out. That must have been one hell of a job.
It was. The original lines, I didn't want the big rubber tank pads, so I removed that. And obviously it left a dent.
Okay.
And we had to get rid of that dent to get the right shape. And you know, the flow and the lines of the bike. So
absolute. A naked has to look pretty. It's very important, 100%. A very simple design for the seat and tailpiece, but sir, I know that lurking under there is something quite spectacular. Would you mind pulling it off quickly?
Sure, no problem.
Have a look at this. That's what you call biscotti. You can tell that it's an Italian motorbike.
Yes, true.
Did you wire the whole thing?
Everything from scratch. The original wiring harness I trashed.
Yeah. And
thought, how hard can it be?
How hard can it possibly be?
So
I'm very grateful that it wasn't me. Now, while you've got the seat off, sir, I see that the frame has been cut as well.
Yes. The frame has been shortened.
Yeah.
The bottom rails have been removed.
Yeah.
And that 45 piece welded in.
Yeah.
Try and tidy up the back of the bike.
And you did it all in-house, eh?
All in-house.
Wow. Yes. Now, I know that you had a little bit of bad luck with the motor. We've discussed it, but you overhauled the whole engine.
Yeah, the original motor had about 35,000 Ks on it.
Yeah.
The shop I bought it from said it was a runner. It was a runner.
Yeah.
I rode it home, but there was little bit of damage inside the motor in terms of loose flywheel, the crankshaft nut had come off and damaged inside. So
it's always the chance you take when you buy a used unit, especially something that's a little bit older. Fuel injected motor, obviously.
Yes.
So getting the wiring ready for that must have been quite tricky. So
yeah, I got ragged with that. This is my first build.
Yeah.
And people asked me, why on earth did you go for a fuel injected bike?
Sheesh.
So I thought, well, again with the electrics, I thought, how difficult can it be?
You didn't know any better.
Yeah.
100%. That's what it is.
I just thought about jets and carbs and balancing carbs.
Yeah.
And I thought a fuel injected would be far easier.
Plug and play.
Plug and play.
Yeah, that's what they say. So tell me about the pipes. I want to just show you guys. I always say local is lacquer. I'm going to go quickly to the other side because of the shadows here. I believe that Jan Yaku from Stealth Pipe made your exhaust pipe for you.
Yes, he did. It started out, I wanted him to just fit 2 Ducati 916 cans to the existing system.
The Termiones, yeah?
Yeah, and Yaku, thank goodness he spoke me out of it.
Yeah.
He spoke me into a full system, and I was of the opinion I couldn't afford a full system until Yaku actually told me the price. And then,
he's quite the craftsman, I must tell you. I was around at the shop the other day and I saw a set that he's made for a CBX 1000. My goodness gracious me. Now I believe your brother, who's a watchmaker, made you this lacquer plate, yeah?
That's correct, yes.
Ducati 750i Super Sport number 1 of 1, and it literally is. It's a very unique bike.
Well, I'm a mechanical kind of guy, so I needed to take it apart to the original cap to anodize it.
Yeah.
And I thought, this looks like a watchmaker's job. And I gave the cap to him and asked him, please carefully disassemble this so I can anodize it. And he phoned me up, he sent me a message saying, we got a problem.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, so, and he managed to destroy it. So,
oh boy.
But anyway,
so you imported this one?
So we got we decided to go something different.
It's really quite something. So now just, if I were to take on a build like this, approximate time taken?
Well, it's not approximate. I'm not an approximate kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's absolute 2 years and 8 months.
2 years and 8, but not constant work. You did it in your spare time and whenever you had a gap. And like you say, the closer it gets to completion, the quicker it goes.
As soon as the last thing I left was the wiring.
Yeah.
And not because I was afraid of the wiring, but I thought that's really going to be fun. And it was. It really was. But as soon as you start with the first wire, you can start visualizing this thing running, and the lights are coming on.
And it makes sense to do it quickly because you might forget what you did when you go back 3 months later. That's the problem.
Well, it took I researched it a lot. And I drew my own wiring diagram.
Yeah.
So I took all the motor gadget stuff and took an original. I managed to source an original color-coded
diagram.
750 diagram.
Wow.
And technology today with laptops and things, I was able to draw up my own wiring diagram and get it working on paper before I attempted it in real life.
Unbelievable. So guys, this is Bob's the Ducati, as his missus lovingly calls it, because she feels that he spent a lot more time with her than he did with her in the recent past. It's a fantastic looking motorbike and you can read all about it in the next issue of Ride Fast magazine. Tell me one thing, sir. Does she go as good as she looks?
Oh yes.
Even better?
Even better.
Good, fire up.